Hey guys, Level Cap here, and today we've got some brand new alpha footage for Insurgency Sandstorm, the highly realistic tactical shooter from New World Interactive. This is the direct sequel, the follow-up to Insurgency, which launched in the Source engine. This one, however, is coming on the Unreal Engine, featuring some much improved graphics and some cool new features. The gameplay that we're watching here looks stellar in comparison to the original game, and I actually had the pleasure of playing this at E3. This map here, though, looks a lot brighter, a little bit more inviting, and frankly a little more interesting than what I played at E3, and I'm excited about the new visual changes, the new atmosphere. Now, along with this alpha footage has come the announcement for two betas. The first beta is a pre-order beta, so if you pre-order the game on Steam, you can play it on the 9th. That's right, basically a week away from this video, you'll be able to get in and play to your heart's content up until the 13th. That's 4 days of beta that will be fully recordable, streamable, so you can imagine even if you didn't get into the pre-order access, there'll be tons of content and coverage at this point. There's going to be 3 maps in this first beta, described as a complex maze of brutal interiors, deadly sniping lanes, and wide open battlefields, each uniquely designed to make every moment of every game feel fresh. Whether your playstyle is run and gun, slow-paced, or more specialized, you'll find plenty to study and learn across the maps. There'll also be 4 game modes: firefight, push, checkpoint, and skirmish. Each change the accessible part of the map, drastically altering the available strategies. This is very exciting, and also knowing that it's just a week away now, I'm pumped to get in here. Probably do a whole day of streaming and gaming this beta when it first comes out. I can't wait to sink my teeth into this game. I'm really pumped for Insurgency Sandstorm. It's up there on my top list of games coming out this year. Now, say the 9th or the 13th aren't great days for you, or maybe you're still not sure about this game, you don't want to pre-order yet. There will be a second pre-order beta starting on August 30th, just a few weeks before the actual release of the game. This will basically be the final test of the game, rooting out any last bugs or stability issues, as the final 3 maps will be released. So this second beta will be full game content, which is really exciting. So in a way, you could kind of look at it almost as like the launch date of the game, just because it'll be a full feature complete game with maybe a few more bugs than what will be on actual launch day. Now, aside from getting to play in the betas as part of your pre-order bonus, the other bonus is that you'll also get the game at a discounted price. Pre-ordering will take 10% off the price, and if you have the original Insurgency, you'll get an additional 10% off that game price, bringing it down to $24.99 US if you have both discounts, which is pretty good. Now, what about console players? It's true the first Insurgency only launched on PC. However, this time around the game is also coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It is not, however, coming out this year. It will be coming out in 2009. That being said, it's still really exciting that this game is coming out for console, because I honestly think it's one of the best accessible, realistic military games out there, and console players really haven't had a lot of options in that area. Most of the realistic or milsim style shooters end up being PC exclusive. So this is really exciting, and I won't say it's necessarily milsim. It's faster paced than a milsim, but it has a lot of highly realistic elements to it. Very fast time to kill, realistic bullet physics, mechanics. The visuals are trying to be as realistic as possible. Weapon manipulation and modification is all highly accurate and realistic. You're not going to see goofy or wonky attachments on your gun. You're not going to be wielding ridiculous weapons in combat. Everything here is set up to look and feel realistic. Sure, the conflict is somewhat fictional, but it's supposed to represent something that could actually be happening, with mercenary forces, local militia, you name it, some sort of Middle Eastern style combat with guns that you would see in that environment. The atmosphere, the feeling of the game is highly realistic, and I love that. There's not a lot of games going for this right now, and I think Insurgency is really coming out at the perfect time, especially on PC, to capture the audience that is looking for a good modern military shooter. Now, for those of you who watched my E3 coverage of this game and my recorded gameplay and what I thought about it, you'll know that I really enjoyed my experience playing the game. I did have some criticisms, again, of course, recognizing that it was alpha gameplay and an unfinished state of the game. My biggest criticisms were the character animations looking just a bit clunky, movement animations not matching up with the speed that they look like they're running, and also the environment feeling too dark, looking like the visual artist really decided to crush the lower light range so that blacks would just be super dark and hard to see anything. And so those were my main critiques of the game. Not huge critiques, but not unsubstantial either. In this alpha gameplay here, the animations do look better. I'd have to test it out a bit more, but I'm not noticing the same sort of clunky looking in-game animations. And also the dark environments are nowhere near as dark as before, so it doesn't look like I'm gonna have to be squinting to see if there's a guy hiding in some dark shadowy corner. The particle effects are looking really cool. This map here seems like it's offering a lot more stuff, or the maps here look like they're offering a lot more stuff to play around with than what I played at E3. I can't wait to get back into it. I love looking at just the weapon models in this. They look so damn real. The gunplay, the firing effects, the attachments, like a weathered AK with a suppressor on it and a wooden foregrip. It's just damn cool. There are some more modern weapons that you can get in the game too. I think the Mark 18 and stuff is available, but it's just neat that they have all these guns that, actually saw combat. This is what you would see in actual combat. Not necessarily a ton of really high-end, super advanced guns with all the latest gadgets and optics on them. This is what has actually been field tested, what you're going to see in the environment. And I think that's what makes the game feel so real. Obviously the graphics do a lot for that, but just being authentic to what you're going to see in this kind of environment. I like how we transition from a modern M4 to an old wooden sniper rifle that looks like it's straight out of World War II. The developers are putting guns in the game that are most likely to be seen in these type of conflicts. Older AKs, they are incredibly reliable guns. You're going to see them here, but Western coalition forces or whatever bringing in more modern weapons. But still, the M4 at this point is old and weathered. You'll get a mixture of old M4s, original looking M4s, and then newer Mark 18s, maybe the 416s and stuff like that in the game. We got the MP7. I just love the mishmash of old and new tech, all still totally viable in combat. There's just something cool about that, and the fact that the devs are recognizing this in a realistic way. Basically, I think from an aesthetic perspective, this game is near perfect in terms of what I want from a first-person shooter. What do you guys think? We're getting further and further away from the modern military Battlefield games. I don't really count Hardline as a modern military game, as more cops and criminals, so the last one was 2013 with Battlefield 4. Now we've got this really good looking Insurgency game on the Unreal Engine, a highly upgradable engine, something that could be tweaked and improved over time as upgrades come out for the Unreal Engine with better lighting, better particle effects, and we've got gameplay that I feel really runs a nice hybrid between realistic and accessible. You don't have to learn a full QWERTY keyboard layout of tons of crazy commands. It's all basic, it's all straightforward, but still strategic, tactical, realistic, with good gunplay and graphics. Is this going to be something that really appeals to, say, Battlefield 4 fans out there? That's something I want to know, because the thematic appeal or the milsim appeal for a lot of games, I think, is really important these days. And people who aren't interested in the historical shooters or sci-fi shooters or arena shooters might be looking for something just like this. And I feel like the market has been sort of dry, been desperate for a game just like Insurgency Sandstorm for quite a while now. And so that's how I feel personally. So I'm sort of projecting that onto the rest of the market. But having talked to a lot of other people who have both enjoyed the original Insurgency, enjoyed Battlefield, they are pumped and excited for this game, and I expect a lot of people to adopt it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's twice as popular as the original Insurgency, which sold, I'm getting around like 3.7 million copies, maybe closer to the 4 at this point, but impressive for an indie shooter. Anyway, the 9th really can't get here soon enough. Stay tuned to this channel if you want to see some Insurgency beta gameplay. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.